Welcome to a brand new episode of Girl, Geek, and the Gay. We're going to start writing more of these punchlines when
Two. You gotta make two of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I'm Jose, and with me is the lovely Jaime
Hi.
and the beautiful Stephanie.
Hello.
Hi.
We're back.
So in the time we've been away, The Last of Us has reached its finale. We have 4 episodes to catch up on today.
Yes.
There is Kin, Left Behind, When We Are in Need, and Look for the Light, which is the ending.
Yes.
So, might as well start at Kin.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remind me because I don't remember.
Kin would have been when he found Tommy, and they were in Jackson.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were in Wyoming.
Yes, Jackson, Wyoming.
Oh. I didn't go to school.
No, geography is my weakness.
Yeah.
I have no idea where anything is, which, considering my job, you'd think I'd be better at it.
Yeah. Scary.
I have technology.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's where
I don't need to know things.
Yeah. I think the only reason I know those states is because, like, the southern states, is because I've actually traveled through them. I can tell you where most of those states in the southern part.
Is it Wyoming in the north?
No, well, yeah, but I wasn't talking about the north. I was talking about the south. My point was, excuse me, the only reason I know the southern states is because I've traveled through the southern states. But I'm not talking about Wyoming at all. Anyway.
So Ken would have been when he found Tommy and they had the conversation about him trying to leave Ellie.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, what else really happened in this episode?
Not much. So they meet the couple. They meet the couple in the wilderness.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
couple.
That was a cute scene.
Yeah.
I like that scene.
Yeah. It's funny because when they introduce Maria, they have this group of people that find them, right? And they decide to take them back to their compound.
Yeah.
Commune.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they're getting there, like the camera goes in through some of the people that are there to kind of watching them coming in, and they showed a woman that looked just like Maria does in the video game.
Oh, wow.
Like exactly like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, cool, that's Maria. And then Maria ended up not even being the same skin color. And I was like, oh, well, was not expecting that.
I think they showed it in a preview, though, no? That it was going to be...
I didn't watch any of the
previews.
previews.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just skip over it.
Yes.
I like the actress, and I can't remember her name because she's from True Blood.
Yeah.
Never seen
Right?
it.
What?
Yeah. That is like a softcore porn, too, though. Oh, Jason.
Go on.
What was his name? Jason Stackhouse? Am I thinking about a different thing?
No, that was
Okay.
That's
brother.
definitely a porn name.
Yeah, he's
Well,
definitely a porn
he's
star.
like a porn star.
He's definitely Stackhouse.
That whole series. Oh, yes.
Because it's Sookie Stackhouse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's her brother.
That's
They're
a
not,
porn name.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it.
No.
It's two
They're
this
siblings.
They're siblings, but they don't do it.
But you're thinking of Tara.
I am thinking Tara was one of my favorite characters in True Blood, and her as an actress, I love her as an actress.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's always downplayed so much though, when she could just be such a bigger star than she is.
Right.
But she in this episode, she was in this episode.
She was.
Yeah.
Definitely was.
But that was, to me, that was just kind of like she was just kind of in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wanted her to be bigger.
Yeah, and she like the character she was playing was a bigger character, right? Like she was part of the council. It seemed like she could have been really a lot more important than they actually made her out to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of it wasn't. It wasn't her story.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to focus more on Joel and Ellie, and in this one we got that scene where Ellie and Joel have that conversation. After she finds out that he's trying to just dump her off on Tommy, and they have that really sad conversation. Where she's just like, I'm not her. Like I'm not your daughter.
Right.
And the way Joel reacts, it was great. Sad, but he like just the way that part is played when he's just like, you're right, you're not my daughter, and I sure as hell ain't your dad. Like you see the hurt in her as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And they didn't play the game, right? They
No.
actually brought on those emotions for real.
Yeah, so they were instructed not to play the game. So Neil Druckmann said that all it was they were giving the direction of whatever they wanted the characters to portray. And yeah, they did a great job. That was definitely a great scene to watch.
It was a slower paced episode.
This
though,
one's
for
very
sure.
very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because they got into that winter ish area, right? Like they was super, like the where they were was the like it was snowing in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it just slowed down everything for me. That first scene I liked with the couple in the cabin. I thought their little story was cute, and how like she was just like,
My
playing
gun
off.
was over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a cute story. I don't remember much of the episode aside from like they went into like they saw Tommy again,
Yeah.
and they were siblings. And he kind of left Joel behind, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. Brother, I'm trying to find you and you're fucking over here married.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he wanted to reach out, but he didn't want to mess up what they've built. So I did think that was kind of messed up, but then I understand it because it's like, well, you found the love of your life and you're trying to move on from what you went through in your past, and it's like you're trying to make right for what you did wrong. But he still could have at least sent out a signal like, dude, I'm okay.
Well, and this kind of takes me back to the episode with the signals too, because wasn't there, based on the song that the radio host played, wasn't there bad news?
That was just with Frank.
Who was Frank? I thought it was his brother that was sending a signal back.
He was when he was with the Fireflies.
Okay.
But he left the Fireflies when he met, I forget her name.
Maria.
Oh.
Because they said they can't make any communication. They don't use radios.
Because they don't want anybody else to really come to that area either. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that the way that they, in this episode too, the way that they're trying to portray Joel's past, right, of him being like a not such a great person, I don't know if it's translating as well as like it could. You know what I'm saying? Or what they could have done. Maybe because we didn't experience a lot of what he did during those 20 years. I just see him as a good guy. Well, I see him as a good guy up until this point. Like, I'm just seeing him as like, well, he's with Ellie. And I know that he's, killing people. He's trying to, they're in that survivor mode, right? So at this point, in 20 years from whatever happened, right? I understand why he is being the way he's being, but I'm not getting the villain deep down inside that he's supposed to be.
Well, what makes you see him as the good guy?
I don't know.
Is it just the fact that that's who the story is following?
Maybe that's what it is, right? And also because of the way that he's warmed up to Ellie rather quickly, in my opinion. Does that make sense? No, in a what I'm saying is like, does it make sense that like he's just become such a father right away? And maybe it's Pedro Pascal. Maybe he comes off as such a good guy that he doesn't portray that like
he's usually a
menacing.
bad guy. Like he's usually like.
But I always like him. maybe that's
like,
what's wrong.
like he plays a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, he plays a bad guy portraying a good guy. I think
Like
it's been
faking-
I
being-
think it's
being-
been like 2 movies where he's been that.
Because in the movie where he was like kind of a cowboyish guy, The Kingsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess maybe I just like Pedro Pascal. He can't be mean.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Down, boy.
Yeah. We'd go on journeys. Yeah.
This episode? So this episode ends with they make it to the college. So Joel decides to stay. He decides not to let Ellie go off with Tommy. Right. And they make it to the college, right?
Well, they decide to leave together.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because he said he was going to leave 30 minutes ago, but he was still just packing the horse.
Yeah, right. And he wanted to give her he wanted to give her a choice, but then she just instantly chose him in that scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it ends with them at the college, and then they get. It's not an ambush, but they get attacked.
Yeah.
Right. And Joel gets stabbed.
Did that happen in this episode? Like all
Yes.
that happened? Oh wow.
This was that's how it ended.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it ends with like they get away. Joel kills the guy that stabbed him, and they get away. And then when they're at a safe distance,
Yeah.
Joel just collapses, falls off the horse.
Yeah, he has that like a giant nail thing in his stomach, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Crazy.
So that's where we leave off
It
there.
was part of the broken bat that they took out.
Oh, it was a wooden thing. I thought it was
was
a metal.
The guy had a bat, but when he swung at the tree, it broke, and so when the guy charged at him,
stabbed him. Oh, you noticed some really good details. I missed that. I thought it was like one of those nails, like from train tracks. I know.
Okay.
They have giant like things.
Well, yeah.
That's just me making it up in my head, though.
well, I went and looked at clips from.
She's like, well, I watched the fucking show.
No.
So I didn't have to make it up.
Well, I rewatched that episode.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what did he get stabbed with? I was like, I could have sworn that guy had a bat. So then when I saw him, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I watched the YouTube of the video game, I was like, that's not how it went, but okay.
How did it go in the video game?
In the video game, you're exiting. You're going through a door, and then somebody just slams through the door. You're kind of struggling against a fence. The fence gives out. You fall, and he falls through a rhubarb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
That's why I was like, you're not too far off, but yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So, that's where we leave off. Joel is down.
Yeah.
And Ellie is scared.
Mm-hmm.
The next episode, though, is Left Behind.
Yeah. And this is the one where we go back and meet Ellie's friend, right?
Yes.
I can't remember her
Riley.
name. Riley. It was a really cute story. I mean, it was a really sad but cute story. Like I like the connection between Riley and Ellie. And I think this is really when I started liking Ellie like quite a bit more. The last 2 episodes, I probably like her a lot more than I thought I was liking her. But that story between the two of them, I thought was really sweet, really sad. Yeah, it was sad. I cried. I did cry a lot.
I did too.
I get it.
Yeah.
I am a little sad I didn't get to see the part where
She transformed. Yeah. Yeah. I can see why they did it, why they didn't want to show it. But you're right. Like, you're right. I think that we could have got a little bit more out of like that scene.
Because you could have, for me, it would make Ellie seem like you would understand why Ellie's the way she is. Because you saw what happened with Joel.
Yeah.
And why he turned out the way he is, but nobody really explained why Ellie turned out the way she was. So I'm like, if they would have shown that, let alone, yes, they both got bit together, but to see her actually have to execute her best friend, because then, with the last episode, I think that would have just been beautiful.
And not just her best friend, like she loves that girl.
She loves that girl, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was so sweet. Like the whole scene, the whole setup. The fact that we know who Riley is, we actually find out who like she killed, right? Because she talked about it before. I didn't know it was going to be somebody that was so connected to her, or that she was so connected to, and yeah, it did have a tragic end, and you could feel it in the whole episode. You could feel that obviously it wasn't going to be so sunshine, like such a magical moment. There was going to be something that happened, especially once they showed that what are they called? The
Infected?
Mushroom men. Yeah.
I call them steps.
Yeah. So once they showed them, then you knew like something crazy was gonna happen for sure. Yeah.
What are they?
Infected, just infected.
There's something runners.
They're runners, which is the first stage.
They're technical.
The fungus. What is the fungus?
Cordyceps.
Yeah, cordyceps.
I'm like, it starts with a C.
Because that's what they call them too, right? They call them cordyceps in the show, no?
Well, they call the virus the cordyceps. So mostly they call them infected. And like I said, there's clickers, stalkers, runners, bloaters.
Damn.
I think there's another one there is another one in part 2 that I don't remember what they're called. But
are we getting enough of them? Like,
no.
I was gonna say, because, and this is where the stories of like even The Walking Dead, right? Like it really, like, this starts leaving that whole thing behind, and it just becomes all about like the human drama,
Yeah.
And that's where, to me, it's like we're not getting enough of like the monsters.
I totally agree with that. That is my one problem with the show. That they have removed so many of the action pieces from the game to make room for more story.
Yeah.
And sometimes that story is not necessarily needed, in my opinion. Like in this episode, they are There's one runner that comes after them, right?
Yeah.
And in the game, like they are swarmed.
It's swarmed.
Oh, that would have made
Again,
more sense.
I watched
Yeah, and that would have made. I
And-
feel like it would have made more sense.
And not just that though, like what's so great about that Riley gets out basically. She is out when Ellie falls back, right? And then Riley comes back for Ellie,
Right.
and that's when Riley gets bitten
Yeah.
too.
Damn.
Yeah, not what we got.
No.
I would have liked
Yeah.
what the video game portrayed.
More action for sure, and it was again, it was a sweet story between the two of them. There was that underlying tension, but tension of like the stress of the infected, but it could have been that for sure, you know, and it would have had the same impact.
Yeah. So this episode was review bombed because gay.
Oh yeah,
It was review. It's got a bunch of 1-star reviews.
yeah.
Storm Reed that played Riley. She said, "There are so many things to worry about in the world. I think being concerned about who people love it's just absurd to me.
Yeah.
I just don't. I will never understand it."
Do you feel like it removed from the story, like their relationship that they had? I mean, I don't know if it was it the same way in the game, like they had a
Mostly,
relationship.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it was part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So before the episode aired, too, like Bella Ramsey was
Yeah.
asked about it and about the possible backlash. She responded with, "I'm not particularly anxious about it. I know people will think what they want to think,
Yeah.
but they're gonna have to get used to it. If you don't like it, don't watch the show because it has gay storylines.
Yeah.
Because it has a trans character. That's on you, and you're missing out. This isn't gonna make me afraid." And I think it comes that comes from a place of defiance.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing, right? There's all this opposition to like a lot of stuff, even in our regular lives right now too. That people at the end of the day, like, you know what, we're gonna stop entertaining those people who don't care. It's not even that big of a deal. There's a trans character in this, by the way.
Not in this one,
Not in this
but
one, okay.
in the second one.
Like the second
Oh, well,
game.
in part 2.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Well,
I was like, I didn't see it.
well, yeah, and at the same time, like if there is a trans character, it's not like we're like, oh, that's a trans character either. It's just they might speak of their the transition at one point or something.
I think it's done well in the second game.
Cool. It's good to know.
Yeah, I do think it's done well. But also, like, you got to keep in mind because this Left Behind is DLC for the game.
Oh.
So it was not part of the original story.
Oh, okay.
So when it was released, people were already upset
Yeah.
because like, oh, you made Ellie gay.
Yeah.
Like, what's your agenda?
Yeah. So they never in the video game at first they never explained why Ellie was the way she was.
In the end, like you
Oh.
get that the pretty much the same speech she gives at the end.
Okay.
Where she talks about losing her best friend.
Oh, okay.
And she tells the story at the end.
Yeah.
Like she tells Joel.
Yeah.
So that's what you get.
I really like Riley's character. That was a really good character too.
Yeah.
Sad.
So I love that line, let's just be all poetic and lose our minds together.
Yeah.
Beautiful line.
Crazy. Yeah. We Adolfo and I.
You got it tattooed on your lower back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they're trap stabs. Yes.
I was just thinking, I was like, I want it as a tattoo.
We saw when we saw. I think we were watching either The Walking Dead or something. I think it was The Walking Dead probably. And I just told him like I would never be able to like take you out as a zombie. Like I'd probably just let you roam the world, if anything, or maybe even become a zombie with him. So this has been a conversation we've had. It's so sad. I'm gonna cry.
But that was the plan. They were gonna be zombies
Yeah,
together.
I know, and then
but then she
yeah.
didn't turn. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a strategy.
Does it show it in the game?
No.
No.
God damn it.
So you don't even get that.
No.
That's lame.
Yeah. Maybe it's the child aspect of it though, because is Riley a kid in the game?
She's like 16.
Yeah, they're
no,
about
17.
the same age.
No.
Because Ellie's 14.
Yeah.
And then
So I would assume that Riley's either the same age or maybe a little older.
no, she was turning 17. That's why she got.
Oh, yeah, that's
she got
what she's gonna
the
be taken
pipes
out
or
of the-
something. She was going. She got some shitty job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking sometimes like video games or movies, they don't want to like show people killing kids, but then they just killed the other little kid a little bit ago. The other person.
Sarah.
No, the boy.
Oh, Sam.
Sam. Yeah.
And then they had the clicker.
Oh, that was jumped into the window. That was Sarah.
No, that was just a clicker.
Who was Sarah?
Sarah's the
The
daughter.
Who's the daughter? No, I'm just joking. I love that character. I'm not good with the names right now yet. So maybe see, this is the thing. Yeah.
No, I like this episode. Like I said, my problem is, and it's in these next two episodes, like this one and the next one, that they just, and the one after that, that they just removed a lot of the action.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, Neil Druckmann has said that season 2 will include a lot more infected, but
we got season 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. It shouldn't be in hindsight. It should be like duh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course, because we got clickers in episode 2.
Yeah.
And this infected right now.
Yeah.
I think that's all we've seen, right?
And we did get some swarms.
Oh, the swarm.
Yeah, we got a big
Loaders.
swarm, but it just and that one but it's like after that, like where are they? And I get it. It's cold. They're in Wyoming, and that's why they don't go there, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Did they say that?
Sure.
Wasn't it like that's why they were safe in that where we met Maria?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's why they said it was safe was because it's cold. It's too cold for the fungus to survive.
Sounds right.
No. Am I no?
I don't remember.
Oh.
To be honest, I don't know. I figured that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no. The couple said that infected and regular people get killed.
Yeah.
Past the river of death, something like that.
Which nothing happened. It was a river of death.
Yeah.
What died?
Nobody.
I don't know. I was kind of glad that they didn't show so much of the infected because you're still getting used to these characters. And then, I don't know. For me, I like the storytelling part.
Yeah.
And then, of course, throw in some action here and there.
Yeah.
But, again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know how much action is involved.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry.
So, what you were mentioning about you and Adolfo being bitten, it just made me think of The Walking Dead, the video game, that season 1.
Yeah.
Where at the end, the main character is bitten. Have you played The Walking Dead? No?
So
the
depressing.
Telltale? It's the main character gets bitten, and so you're playing as him when he's like already starting to turn, but you're trying to save the little girl, right? So when he finally gets to her,
Clementine.
he ends up he handcuffs himself, and then you choose your dialogue. So through your dialogue, you tell her like, I need you to kill me, or like just go. But you see how scared she is. She's like 8 years old, and like depending on what you choose, like she will shoot you, or she'll just walk away and let you turn.
Yeah.
And it's a heartbreaking scene.
I think
like I cried in that.
Yeah.
I totally did.
Yeah. He wanted her to kill him. I think.
You choose.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's whatever you want.
I went down this rabbit hole where I was watching the saddest children video game scenes when they turn into zombies, and
God.
I think there's this one called Dead Island.
Yeah.
And
The trailer in that you have the little kid
where she's running from the zombies. They're in like this hotel or something like that, and you can see them eating this little girl.
Oh my God, dark.
Dead Island 2 is coming out soon.
And I'm like, I want to play this game, but that is the sad. It was
Yeah.
so sad. I'm watching this YouTube video.
Yeah, I don't think it's part of the game though.
No.
No, because that like you could find that room in the game, but that was just a trailer for it, so you don't get to see that in the game.
Because I was just like, that is intense. If you're playing this game and you're trying to protect your child, but she's being eaten by these zombies, and then the way she dies, they throw her out, like she gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
'Cause they're trying, but yeah, she's on the grass just dying, turning into this
Damn.
thing. And I was just
dark.
it was dark. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Resident Evil where this dad was trying to, he can tell his daughter was turning into one, and so he was stopping the agents from shooting her.
Oh yeah.
So then he goes into a room, and you hear the gunshot.
Did you see the Walking Dead series?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about. My sisters talk about it. So.
Yeah, there was the one big spoilers for The Walking Dead if you've never seen The Walking Dead. Carol's daughter in that series. That to me was one of the most heartbreaking parts of that series, too. So it's always when kids are involved, it's sad,
There was
sad.
Also involving Carol and one of the little girls, that psychotic little girl, when she's like, just look at the flowers.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the show was really good, and then it just kind of lost its effect
It's
over
because
time.
giving it 20 episodes per season.
Yeah.
When you
It's
don't
too
have
much.
that long of a story to tell.
Yeah. The first season was
6 episodes.
and it was great.
Nice
It was
and tight.
Perfect. Yeah. And mind you, it was low budget and everything, you know, like it was such a great series. It could have just been continuously that, but then we're still going on.
No, it's fun.
No, it's over?
Well,
Yeah.
it's The Walking Dead is done, but now we got City of the Walking Dead.
City of the Walking
I
Dead?
think
Oh,
I think
God.
that's what it's called, and
Yeah.
that's going to be following Negan and Maggie, and then Daryl is going to go to France. So it's going to be Daryl and Carol going to France, but
But
then
she-
Melissa
she
McBride
jumped
was just
out.
like, nah,
Yeah.
just let me
okay.
go home.
Yeah.
I feel like they are holding her hostage
Yeah.
because she's been there since season 1.
Yeah. I like Carol.
I do
I love
too.
Carol and I love Daryl. But yeah.
And the way it ended, like there's still the Rick and Michonne story up in the air.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
the next episode, When We Are in Need, and this is the episode that introduced David,
David.
the
Oh
Preacher.
yeah. There's always those characters that have like God complex.
yeah somebody, who was Dwight from The Office, Rainn Wilson. He talked about how he was upset that preachers and men of God get shown in such a bad light constantly in
Media.
yeah.
Okay.
And
And?
it's like, and he's like, I'm not even Christian, but there's this attack on Christianity, and it's like, all right, but
That's random.
cool.
I mean, but I mean, I think no, I'm sorry. Like that's bullshit because there's real life stories that are legit, you know, like that show that. But I'm not saying that, and not every single person is portrayed in such a light. I mean, but I don't know. It is what it is, you know. Like it is a reality of even some of that culture.
Yeah,
too,
especially
you know?
because I feel like in the end times, people do turn to religion,
yeah,
and there are people that aren't very good people that take advantage of that.
yes,
Exactly.
Especially to survive. You know,
Yeah.
you get this quote unquote congregation that to get behind you, and you have
Yeah.
an army
Yeah.
to protect you.
And it goes back to just like cult leaders in general, you
Yeah.
know, like wasn't the Manson guy, wasn't he like really preachy about God
Yeah.
as well? You know, like it's a real life situation that has happened. I mean, we could talk about even bigger, you know, like there's certain churches like specifically, but you know, like you know, I'm trying to whisper.
You're gonna get a
'cause
shot.
I don't want to get I don't want somebody coming after
They're
me.
gonna send Xenu after us.
No, I mean it just like what you said is exactly it, right?
Tom
There's
Cruise is just gonna burst through the window.
show up, right? Mission Impossible style instead. No, but it does because like people manipulate situations.
Yeah, of
and,
course.
you know, like even the governor though, was he? I don't remember him being specifically. I'm talking about The Walking Dead, but the governor, like I don't know if he was
I don't
specifically
think
Christian,
so.
but he was a person. He was a leader, right? He was charismatic for some reason. There was a group that followed him, so it's not just that.
Yeah.
It does come down to other. I mean, it's
But
going
I
to be
mean, if
portrayed.
you- and if you look back in history, religion is a popular way to control the masses.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's what it is.
People create their own religions based around situations too, you know, like it is what it is, you know. I don't think it's offensive, but then
There-
again, I'm not religious.
There is a religion, and I can't remember what it's called, but they basically worship big booty women.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's a thing, and I don't remember what it's called.
I feel like I've heard of this.
MTV.
What?
Yeah. So David's creepy.
I
Yes.
already, the moment they introduced him, I knew something was off, and he gave me the creeps. Like every time they showed him, I was like, there's just something odd about him. And it wasn't even the fact that I was like, he had a cult or anything. It
Yeah.
was just when you get further into that episode, it's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
That predatory vibe was just all over his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I think they did a good way of kind of covering it up at first, you know, because I kind of fell for it. I thought he was going to be a good guy somehow, but then again,
you're on your own there, but
yeah, but then again, well, because of the part where I'm trying to remember specifically where it was. I didn't know it was going to take the turn that it did in the end, right? But then again, he was super abusive in the beginning of the show too.
Yeah.
So it was weird. The whole situation was weird. I did also like have the spoiler vision with how they led up to like them being cannibals as well, or unintentionally being cannibals. I'm like, they got to be eating people. Like I already knew like right away too with that situation. Creepy.
Yeah. David in the game is voiced by Nolan North, who voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. Great. He's a great voice actor.
Yeah.
And the way he plays that character also so good. It's such a calming voice when he speaks, right? And I feel like this guy kind of did a good job. Like when he speaks, like he's not aggressive. He's very calm, but there's still that underlying unsettling.
He was creepy.
Yeah. It's just so unsettling. That really is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. It was a little cliche, like towards the end where Ellie kind of I'm jumping quite a bit forward, but she runs into the big parlor area and she's hiding and he goes, Ellie. Like I was like I already knew that was coming too. To me it was a little cliche. Was it not? I mean, it was it to me it didn't do anything. I don't know. It was creepy, but it was like meh. It was meh. I didn't like it. I feel like it was just all led down the same path that like I feel like I've seen before. So just adding that.
All right. So this is one of those where they cut out a giant set action piece.
Okay.
That I was really disappointed in.
Okay.
The guy that's with David, Jimmy, I think that was his name.
The
guy that was with David pretty much the whole time. Like when he meets up with Ellie.
Buddy Boy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's Troy Baker, and he is the voice of Joel.
Oh.
And again, like the way he looked in that, I was like, he could have played Joel. They could have just given it to him again.
Yeah.
But there is this scene where he goes off to fetch the medicine, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get attacked by a swarm of infected. And it's very intense because you and David are fighting side by side to stay alive, right? And it ends with an enormous bloater.
Wait, so you are who in this?
You're playing
scene?
as Ellie.
Ellie.
Yes,
okay.
because Joel is indisposed.
Oh, okay.
Indisposed?
Well, yeah, he's out because. Oh,
Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So you're Ellie, and you're going with him to get the medicine.
No.
You stay with.
You stay with David.
Yeah, that's right.
Guarding the deer.
Yeah.
While
Buddy Boy
goes to get the medicine.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And after you guys survive that whole thing, that's when you have that conversation with David when he's like, everything happens for a reason. And again, like the way the scene is framed, just that conversation, the way he talks, it's creepy. It is like it's very unsettling. It's very. Ugh.
Yeah, it. I mean, and they did do the whole predatory thing in the episode 2, which I thought was something that they explained in like the after. I don't know if you guys do you guys watch the clips afterwards? You don't?
I do.
Not they don't because I don't watch like the prequels. I mean the previews.
Yeah.
But I do watch just like their commentary about the episodes.
The inside of the episode.
Yeah, and in this episode, like she saves herself from David, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I thought they made it a point to talk about that, how like all of this, she ends up saving herself through the situation. Like Joel didn't show up to like. It's not that he didn't show up. Excuse me. It's just that. He wasn't meant. He wasn't the hero. She was her own hero in that situation, which I thought was great. Like that was a good point. That was a good point about how she escaped. Because the whole time I was expecting Joel to show up. The whole time, and then ultimately she saves herself in this. Thankfully, she saves herself from it, but she's super traumatized afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's that scene where she's in the cage, and in the game when she wakes up, they are chopping somebody up. Ooh. So like she looks up and like she sees them like chopping off legs and just like putting them on the floor, like all the parts that weren't gonna use basically.
Dang.
And just and throwing them on the floor, and that's like because you're never told, oh, they're eating, like they're cannibals, Yeah. You just kind of, oh, you see it, but there's a part where he brings out food and she's like, oh, with some human helping on the side. Oh, you're gonna chop me up into little pieces, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's that whole thing. Just creepy.
Yes.
So creepy.
Yeah.
But then of course there's David just being so weird when he just comes on her, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she breaks his finger.
Yes. Great scene.
Yeah.
Where she broke his finger. Yeah. Yeah. Well deserved.
Very.
Yeah.
And that the line after that is just great because he's like, "What am I supposed to tell him?" And she's like, "Ellie, tell him Ellie's the little girl who just broke your fucking finger."
Yeah.
And yeah, so they decide that they're gonna kill her, right?
And that's when she told them they're infected, that she's infected.
Oh yeah. Because that's what makes them question it, right?
Because she bit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And she buries the machete in.
Buddy boy.
Yeah. There wasn't enough of that. She should have chopped the. Oh, but then David, and they didn't show David like when she fought him, right? And she ends up basically slicing him up because that's all we see is just you know like her going off again. She deserved that. He deserved that. What came from that for sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other end, we got Joel waking up
Yeah.
and fighting his way through everyone that was out there searching for him.
Yeah.
We get the scene of Joel interrogating two of these guys brutally.
Yeah. Right.
Just the knife to the knee, man. Like that
Yeah.
just gets me every time.
Yeah.
He's like, just one twist, I could pop off that knee. I'm like,
Yeah.
Please don't.
You can feel it. Yeah. Yeah. Merciless.
But yeah, you see again, you get to see that side of Joel where he does not give a fuck. He will kill you. And even after like he knows what he needs, he
does it anyway.
Yeah, he kills both of them.
What's funny is I never see him as the good guy.
Oh really?
I just see him protecting what he needs to protect.
Yeah.
And by any means necessary. Because for me, there is no good person in this world anymore because you have to do what you have to do to survive.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, when people are like, he's like a good guy, I'm like, no.
He's a survivor.
I'm like, he's surviving.
Yeah.
I would be the same.
Yeah, so the scene with Ellie and David in the restaurant, I hate this part in the game. Like, I hate it. I hate having to fucking fight David because he is difficult.
Oh.
Because, you got to hit him 3 times. You know, you got to sneak up on him. And if he sees you, like he kills you. Like he's pretty much an instant kill. And it's difficult because like by the 3rd time, he stops being loud and he's quiet. So you don't know where the hell he is in the whole fucking restaurant.
Wow.
Like he's hiding. And you don't like the only times you can kind of hear him is like when he moves from space to space, and even then he's not very loud.
Wow.
So it's very frustrating. It's very annoying, but yeah, you know it ends the same way with you stab him, he throws you on the ground, and you're making a beeline for that machete when he gets on top of you, right? And it plays out exactly like it does, like. The machete to the face over and over and over. And you could feel that, you know? In the game, while she is killing him is when Joel finds her. Here, like, she exits the restaurant. But this is the first time, like, you know, you hear Joel call her baby girl. Which is, like, it's such a big step because that's what he used to call Sarah.
Yeah.
And, like, you see how Joel cares here.
Yeah.
And it's a great ending. Like it was great.
Yeah, from the time he got stabbed all the way to the end, like the last episode, could not stop crying.
Oh.
I was just like, oh my gosh, this storyline is just incredible.
Yeah.
And it's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I mean this last episode was for sure like damn. You know, like well and especially because what's the name of the last episode?
The last episode?
Yeah.
Or the one we're talking about?
Oh no, I'm talking about the last episode.
Look for the Light.
Look for the Light. So in Look for the Light, I mean, the way it ultimately ends, well, at least the first season, like to me, Like, I mean, I feel like him a little bit too, because how do you make that decision? You know, like, how do you really make that decision? You know, especially if it's for somebody that you care for now, right? Like, you're calling her even your baby girl, right? Like, it's crazy.
Well, even the way that
decision.
episode starts, when he seems excited,
Yeah.
you know, when he's talking to her about like, oh, we're gonna do this, you know, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar,
Yeah.
and how she's so despondent. She's
Yeah.
just kind of like, because she's still traumatized.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what just happened,
Exactly.
and that's and we also get to see why she's immune too. Like because her mom got bit while she was giving birth.
Yeah.
It was, to me, it was like, oh, Blade.
Yeah. It was
Blade
exactly
is immune
that.
because his mom got bitten when she was giving birth to him.
Right.
But Ashley Johnson, who is the voice of Ellie in the game, she gets to play her mom in this, which is perfect.
Looks just like her, by the way. I'm like, how did they? I almost thought it was Ellie, like in the future. Like for a second, I'm like, why are we going to the future like that? Because to me, they look very alike, like in the face, you know, like very alike, very. I thought it was the future.
I was like, how?
Yeah.
And when?
Yeah. I wasn't sure where it was going with it.
I wasn't either.
I was really confused for a minute. So you knew it was her? Well, he knew. You knew it was his mother, her mother. Okay, I thought they went in the future. That's where I thought it went. So it was just, it caught me off guard because they look so much alike. I even thought like that's like her sister or something like that in real life, but no, right?
No. So it's just also a sad scene, you know, when she gives birth, like she's fighting off this infected while she's giving birth to this kid, and then
she's all by herself too.
Yeah, and then the scene like when after she gives Ellie to Marlene, how Marlene's just like, I'm not gonna kill you. Like, that shit sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like, again, how do you choose to do that? And then Marlene, you know,
she ultimately goes back.
Somebody does it. It makes sense.
And see, that's why I was saying I would have loved to see the same thing with Ellie and Riley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you get the mom, I forget her name.
Anna
and Marlene. Like, it would have just been cohesive to me. Like,
I could see that.
Yeah.
So this is the giraffe episode where
my favorite animal.
Jurassic Park. It reminded me of that scene in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Where they, what is it called? Bronchiosaurus? Something.
One of the long neck ones.
Yeah. It just reminded me of that scene. That's a real giraffe, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at first. I thought it was just a CG giraffe, but no, it's a real, because she was posting on Twitter about it too. Crazy. Yeah.
And again, like one of the best scenes in the video game, even like when you find when she finds that giraffe, and then you don't know what she saw, you know,
Right.
like she dropped the ladder, and you have to go and grab the ladder and put it up and follow her and find her while she's just so excited running towards, like, look, you got to see this beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Like when just it shows a lot of her innocence still.
Yeah. She because she was so excited. I did feel like I was like, hey, like, how did she notice that giraffe? It was such a random thing, but again, it reminds me of the Jurassic Park scene because they're kids, you know, and they're going through this kind of traumatizing experience with these dinosaurs, and they see these, at least like a friendly dinosaur, you know, she's seen an animal, you know, that she's never gotten to experience, you know, or see, you know, and she's just like, oh, it's so cute, you know, and they're having a moment. And then to know that it's a real giraffe now, like, that kind of blew my mind. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's kind of like when she first saw monkeys.
Oh,
and then I'm like, again, something you take for granted.
Yeah.
Like,
Zoos.
Right. Because then I always thought, I was like, where are the animals in this show?
Yeah.
Like, are they infected?
Food?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I know they're definitely food, but I'm like, you don't ever see wild dogs.
I was gonna say, like, are there any dogs in the video game?
In the second part, they are more of a they make more appearances.
They're no longer pets.
No, they're
Are
in
they
the second
pets?
one they come after you.
No, that's what I'm
But humans use them to track you.
Oh wait, there was a dog, the one that sniffed out infected people.
Oh yeah. That
Forgot
one.
about that one.
I forgot about
That one dog. So do we.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
just not the ones that are trained, but are there like
Infected
Wild
ones?
like you don't see coyotes, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see wolves,
Yeah.
nothing. You don't see no type of animal, but
Yeah.
monkeys and a giraffe apparently.
Yeah.
And deer.
Oh, and deer and a
Yeah.
rabbit,
Yeah.
but nothing like aggressive.
Yeah. Bears.
Right. Mountain lions.
All right, so now we got Joel. Like after the giraffe thing, they are found by the fireflies.
Butterfly.
I was about to
You
say
think of I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Oh, before the I was gonna call them butterflies,
Butterflies
again.
again.
Before the fireflies show up, does she give him the picture?
What picture?
No, they were doing puns.
Yeah, because I think that just hit me like, because in the game she gives him the picture of Joel and Sarah.
Oh, did she have that picture in the show?
So Tommy tries to give it to Joel, and Joel refuses it.
But you're talking about in the video game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Joel refuses it. Like
Okay.
he's just like, no, I don't want it. Like I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
So Ellie steals it from them.
Okay.
So Ellie has it. So Ellie gives it to Joel, and that's the first time like when he actually takes it.
Oh.
And he's being more open about Sarah.
Oh. I don't think there was a
No.
picture at
No,
all,
I don't-
right?
I don't-
Like
I
in
think
the
that's
series.
what
either.
was the bookmark in the pun book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when they get ambushed by the fireflies and taken in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they stuck to just doing the puns.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing that happened between the Firefly. This is what I was talking about a little bit earlier, right? Like kind of so they found that she might be the cure, right? But the only way to really I guess cure everybody is to get it from her brain,
Yeah.
right? Which is ultimately going to kill her. So killing her to save the rest of the world, type of thing. And
Yeah.
and again, I get Joel in this, like I totally understand where he's coming from. Like they don't want him to see her. That's his it's basically become his family at
His
this
surrogate
point.
daughter.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally get his emotion behind it and why he then starts going on a rampage, to save her
Yeah.
because he knows she's about to get killed. Marlene, again, somebody who you thought was really connected to Ellie, and she knows that it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, I get Joel. I get why he did everything he had to do in that situation. I mean, I feel like we would probably all be in a similar boat. At least I would be, in that type of boat going on.
So you would kill everybody to save
You
her.
too, bitch. No, no.
Wait, you
but-
kill me too?
Yeah. Yes.
If you were in my way and that was my child, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she's older and finds another doctor and that's her choice, yes.
Yeah. And the fact that they lied to her about because they lied to her. They didn't tell her they're gonna kill her. So they really didn't give her a choice. I think Marlene even says that.
Yeah, like if she could choose, this is what she would choose.
Yeah, and of course we know.
So they didn't lie to her. They just
They twisted it.
Well, I'm not sure, because in the game when they find both of you, she's unconscious.
Yeah.
Like he's and Joel is trying to resuscitate her
Oh.
because she had almost drowned, and Joel is trying to resuscitate her, and they're like, put your hands up, and he refuses to. He keeps trying to just
Revive her.
Yeah, revive her,
Uh-huh.
and they take him, and they knock Joel out, but Ellie's still unconscious. So it's my understanding that she never comes to.
Oh.
Like they take her, they save her,
Uh-huh.
and then they just immediately put her under to prep her for surgery.
Oh.
Here, I'm not sure because they get hit with a flashbang.
Yeah.
And then he gets smacked in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, because they kind of did say that they talked to her, like that she's the cure, right? Like they're gonna put her under.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
at that point, they don't know how they would engineer the vaccine, so they don't know that they have to kill her when they've spoken to her.
Oh, okay. I thought I remember them saying that, like, no, they didn't tell her, like that's how they were gonna. But I mean, the only way to like save the world is to kill her.
Yeah, because
They
just
didn't
put her
know
under
they had to kill her.
until-
I don't think she knew that part because
Yeah.
she had to go through so many tests, and when they found
Yeah.
out that that's how they survive is in the brain, of course that's when they made that decision. I don't think they told her.
Like at all of anything of it. Yeah.
And that's why he was able to convince her that there's no cure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She doesn't seem convinced, even though at the end, though, right? Because she is still. But again, he wants to save her. You know, like he's been through this whole journey with her.
Yeah.
And just for them to be like, well, we have to kill her to save the rest of the world. You know, of course he's gonna be upset. Like, what was the point?
And they have the moment because when he tells Ellie, he's like, we don't have to do this. We could just turn around and go back to Jackson right now. Like we don't have to go.
Yeah.
And Ellie responds with, "When this is all over, like I'll follow you wherever."
Yeah.
And like you see the relief on his face, like, and he even says like, I'm not leaving there without you."
Right. Right.
So. Yeah, so now you're in this moment where they've taken essentially what has become his little girl.
Yeah.
Again.
Right.
He's already lost Sarah.
Yeah.
And now you put him in the same position. So, yeah, he does exactly what I feel like any other parent would do.
Yeah.
Like, he kills everybody.
Yeah.
And he makes, like, so he does everything he can to save her.
Yeah.
And once again, you see Joel the way it started in the first episode with him carrying his little girl, trying to save her life.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets a lot darker. I mean, it gets a lot darker in the sense of like, well, now he has to lie to her too, you know. So that it's this is when now, like, when she asked him at the end, right? Like, hey, so is that whole story you just told me, like, is that true? And he says, yeah, and we all know it's not. You know that it sucks. I think that ultimately Ellie, if the decision was up to her, she would have sacrificed herself, and that's the sad part, you know, because he loves her at this point, you know, like as his daughter, right? And then for her, you know, and he's being a bit selfish, but at the same time, she understands that that's the only way, and she would just go. She would just go. That's the sad part.
Yeah. So when they escape, you know, you get that scene with him and Marlene, and again, like he's holding his little girl, and there's someone pointing a gun at him, right? Fucking mirrored images of what happened in the first episode. And when Marlene's like, you just go, like, just leave her here, then go. And then the cut is Joel driving by himself, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, did he leave her?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Until you hear her kind of like staring in the background.
Yeah.
And you see how hurt she is too. Like all of a sudden when he's like, oh, your immunity doesn't matter. Like there's so many of them like you.
Yeah.
Like you see how like, cause she had this sense of like, I matter.
Yeah.
I can make a difference. And all of a sudden like, he's just like, no,
it
nothing.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she just turns her back to him and just they ride out in silence.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then we see what happened. He shot Marlene. He put her in the car, came back and just put another bullet in Marlene.
Yeah. And they were just going back to Tommy in the end, right? Like that's it at that point. Yeah. So I mean, it ends. That's it. Like that was it. I want to know what more is going to happen now. Well, obviously, if we get a season 2, that's going to be.
Well, we're getting a season 2.
Yeah,
we're getting season 2 and 3.
Okay, that's cool. We'll see. Overall, I enjoyed the show, like just as a whole, right? I enjoyed the show. I keep going. I just keep going. This to me is very The Walking Dead, and I because I've been through The Walking Dead. I liked it. I like this show. I like the characters. I like the story, and I like the little like past that we've gotten. I just want, I guess, more of the infected, as always.
Yeah, no, that is my one gripe with the game. With the show.
Yeah.
They removed a lot of the action pieces to make room for story, and I feel like it definitely suffered a little for it. They removed the chase scene in Bill's town. They removed the fight with the infected with David. They removed the Riley and like that chase with Riley. Like they removed a lot of the cool stuff.
Yeah. Did there was something that I was reading about. I didn't really read the whole thing, but was there something different that they did at the end, like with the whole Joel and Ellie scene in the game, or was it like he lied to her in the same way?
No, it ends the same with her telling like all my life, like the speech she gives where she's just like, Riley was the first to die. Where she tells the story of Riley and her and what happened in the mall.
Oh, okay.
Because she's like, well, when I was bitten, I wasn't alone.
Oh.
You know, and that's how that whole thing starts.
Okay.
And then which is like swear to me that everything you said is true. And Joel just goes, I swear.
Damn.
And she just goes, okay. You know, but even in the game, like despite the fact that it is a video game, you see that emotion. Like the graphics are amazing.
Yeah.
And you see the look on her face, like where she doesn't believe him, but she wants to.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, like it ends right there. It just says, okay. And
Cool.
and then we roll credits.
Crazy. Overall, you loved it?
I loved it. I love story.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, of course, I would like the action and everything like that, but I love story over action.
Cool.
But I do hope to see more action in season 2
Cool.
and 3, because it's like, it is about the infected.
Yeah.
You know, not just the storyline. To me, it's not just about the storyline.
Yeah.
I think first seasons are always introductions, and then second season, that's when you get more of the action
crazy.
and you have to really survive.
Yeah.
That's me personally.
I got you.
So.
What about you?
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Yeah, like I said, I want more, you know, of course, you know, but yeah, it was short. It was a short season, but
I'm good with that.
I think it was enough. Yeah, I think it was enough. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Season
things
2.
that just don't need to be dragged out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I really liked it.
Nice.
I had same issues, not enough infected, not enough action, but the story was great. Even the things they changed, I feel like a lot of times they worked. I'm glad that Neil Druckmann was as involved with this as they let him be.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking forward to what they do with part 2 or season 2.
Nice.
Part 2 is a very divisive game. A lot of people hate it, but I think it's because it's not the story they wanted. You know, I love
selfish reasons.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great game.
Cool. I might play the video game now, maybe.
No, you're not.
After God of War.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's why I waited. Because at first, when I got the PS5, it was the first thing I downloaded.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no, finish the show first and then go for it. It's bad enough you're YouTubing it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, not YouTubing on how to play
Yeah.
it, but
No.
just more following with the story.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, what am I missing from this scene?
Yeah.
And that's when I saw, like, the swarm of infected
Yeah.
with Riley and Ellie. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
why wasn't that in there? That
Yeah.
would have made so much more sense than just this one.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was just crazy.
I played the game. I played like the first chapters ish of the game when he was here, and I couldn't shoot for the life of me. It was embarrassing, but it was Jose. He was stressing me out. So,
I didn't say it. I was just watching,
watching. That was it. Quietly behind me,
judging.
I was
judging.
going to say, you felt judged.
I
didn't
felt
you?
judged.
Oh, very much so. That
I
was
felt
happening.
judged. I'm really good at video games until Jose is sitting behind me, glaring.
Oh, no. Like I said, that's why with Hogwarts, I'm like, I am terrible when I have to focus to shoot things because
Yeah.
I'm like spastic. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, which button again?
Yeah.
And then it takes forever to reload your
Yeah.
spell. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
so to do shooting games, it's like I have to have full concentration. I yell at my child when
Right.
she's like asking me a question. I'm like, I'm in the middle of something. Stop it.
I yell at Adolfo when he's asking me to stop crossing in front of me, Adolfo. And I'll say, I love you. I'm just kidding. I really do
When my
that.
cat wants to get in the middle of the TV, I was like, get on. Throw my pillow. I'm just like, ah. Yeah, so
I don't have any of these issues.
I'm like, if I'm playing The Last of Us, it has to be where everyone is asleep. My cat is asleep too, and then I
Yeah.
can focus.
There you go.
Oh yeah, no. Best time to play it is in the dark when you're by
Scary.
yourself.
No.
Well, I won't be in the dark, you know.
All right. I mean, do you guys have anything else to add?
No, I'm good.
All right, that's our show. Nothing. No? All right. Have a week.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait.